What has Chris Olave done particularly well? It seems like even with injuries, the flu and everything, he's kind of playing his best football when he's on the field now.
Yeah, I think that the connection between him and Derek has been really been something that's really been thriving the last few games. I think that's gotten better as the season's progressed, and I think that really he's making the most of his opportunities. He's finding open windows, getting open, and making making some of those tougher catches for us.
What is the trait that makes him so good at kind of getting that extra yard of separation at the end of routes?
Yeah, I think he just has a natural feel for how he has to, doesn't necessarily have to do it how it's drawn on paper, but just kind of knowing the feel of what's around him, who's around him, and then his ability to really to separate, put his foot in the ground, and come out of it.
Pete, how did you see him kind of respond to a rough stretch in the middle of the year?
Yeah, I think, listen, we never lost confidence. He never lost confidence. He knows he's got the capability to make plays when he has those opportunities. So I think that that's something that's obviously been going well with that group.
Obviously, he was battling the ankle last week. Did that affect anything in game planning in terms of what he might not be able to do with that ankle? Or was it kind of a full?
Yeah, I think there's. Did we limit what we were doing with him? No. I think there was a lot of communication throughout the week with the head coach, the training staff, and just making sure that we were getting him to where he needed to be for the game. And I think that there was really nothing that we felt hindered him throughout that.
Pete, you've been able to just kind of put your finger on why the run game was maybe a little inconsistent this year?
Yeah, I don't think, obviously it was something last week that wasn't good. I think it put us behind the chains a couple times, and then got to the point now where we were down and kind of had to get away from it. But I think that, again, it's back to a new week. We've got to make sure we're doing the right things, doing the things that our guys are good at and putting them in the right position for that. So I think that, last week we just, a couple times where we maybe just missed blocking a guy or, looking at the scheme of what we're doing. We just got to make sure all that's up to par.
With wanting to get your run game going and looking at who you guys face this week and Devin White, how do you prepare for somebody like that?
Yeah, I think this is obviously a team that defends the run really well, and I think that, Doug and Kevin are putting together, good game plan, making sure that the players are comfortable with the schemes that we're running and making sure we're all feeling good about it and going out, practicing it, and then by the end of the week deciding which ones, we feel real strongly about.
Specifically with Devin White, though, what does he do well in taking away that area?
Yeah, I think that he's obviously instinctive. I think he obviously does a great job studying film and kind of knowing maybe possibly, what's coming, but he also does a great job tackling. I think this whole defense plays fast, physical, and I think they tackle well, and starts with him.
With Juwan, obviously he's had a couple nice games here. Why do you think it took him so long to kind of get there? Is he dealing with injury or anything?
Yeah, part of it might just be opportunities. Obviously, he missed some time with the injury. Some of the things that maybe we were doing in protection, but I would agree with you right now. He's playing fast. Quarterback has a lot of confidence, and he's making the most of his opportunities.
We've asked this a number of different ways over the years, but just with Taysom Hill, it seems like there's a direct correlation between when you guys are down, the Taysom plays get abandoned. What makes it so hard to keep using Taysom Hill run plays when you're not ahead on the scoreboard?
Yeah, I think that you go back and look at how many plays we had prior to all of a sudden we're in a 2-minute hurry-up type of offense. I think that obviously you got to give credit to the Rams. They did a good job in the couple opportunities that he did have. And so I think that part of it is play calling, getting in a rhythm where you're maintaining some longer drives and then having the ability to get him out there and do some things. So I think that, again, that you come away last week and the first thing I think about is didn't get him enough opportunities. And so that's probably on me as a coach and then probably on us executing and sustaining drives.
When you go into one of these rematches, obviously this is about as far apart as they could probably get from week 4 to week 17, maybe a couple more weeks. But is that kind of a unique thing where you're looking at it like this is what they did in week 4, but so much has changed?
Well, I think that obviously, yeah, a lot has changed. Sometimes maybe some personnel is changing, maybe, who played in the last game, who didn't play in the last game. I think that you're not only going back to just really the previous game, maybe you're going back to, things that you've done over the years when you've played against a similar, the same defensive coordinator, I should say, with the head coach there. So I think that, there's obviously a familiarity with the personnel a little bit more because you've seen those guys a couple times before. But I think that you're still doing all the preparation, seeing what they've been doing, maybe, what have they been doing the last 4 games that have, they've been playing really well. So I think it's just probably more of a personnel type of deal where you have more familiarity.
And I mean, have things stood out over the last 4 in terms of, obviously they had that long stretch, I think they went 1-6 and done that streak.
Well, obviously, the one thing, you see them just playing fast, physical, really doing a nice job versus the run. On the back end, just getting hands on a lot of balls. I think they're 5 in forced fumbles this year, but you're seeing it all on film.
Just going back to the run game, is there anything you guys can do with like the scheme to get Alvin maybe more space to work with, or is it more of just like execution that kind of?
Probably a little bit of both. Probably a little bit of both. I think that obviously space is his friend, but I think that sometimes it might also be scheme related as to what you're seeing defensively, maybe to protect certain things.
With Winfield and Tampa, is he kind of rare just in his ability to get the ball out? It seems like every time turn
He's rare,
yeah.
and there's a lot of things that he does well. Even just when you're talking about him pressuring, blitzing, and like you're saying, taking the ball away, getting the ball out. I think that he's obviously a guy that's a challenge for us.
Did he have to be prepared for that specific aspect of his game going into this?
Yeah, I think that really, something that Joel talks to the guys about every week. And when you're talking about guys that are taking the ball away and showing highlight reels for them, and not wanting to be on his highlight reel.
Thank you.
Okay. See y'all later.